Hi, I'm Heinbach. Good to have you back. What is your biggest regret in life? From some of you, I know that now. I've got a project called Destruction Loops. It started on a whim. Simon the Magpie challenged me to apply destruction techniques to a tape loop just to see what happens. The first one I did was purely aesthetic. I destroyed music that I had recorded and it turned into a beautifully lo-fi soundscape before it completely destructed. After that, I tackled a topic that was very dear to my heart, hate comments that I and other YouTubers had gotten, and I made a collage of them and exorcised them using the tape loop destruction techniques. And for the third one, I wanted to open this up to everybody, namely you, and I made an open call. Since I got quite a lot of submissions, and this is already the third iteration, I had to go bigger. So I asked Darrin Wiener and the World Gang Tape Tipi to join me in this. That would mean 7 more tape machines and a truly room-spanning installation with lots of different sound sources combined. We also agreed that we would do it live at PNDT Art Gallery, where I debuted my landfill totems. The project got so big that in the end we had to use some pretty drastic methods to achieve tape destruction. But first, we had to go shopping.
Chainsaw.
Oh yes.
That would be cool, right? If somebody has a chainsaw, that's what we need.
So it's almost the end of day 1 at the gallery. We tried out a bunch of stuff. As you can see, we put knives again on here, classic, and some pencils with sandpaper on it. Darrin was a bit astounded how slow it is to actually destroy, because this sounds, of course, after 1 hour as it did before. But it's a long process. We've also got these, and what we are now going to do, these will be on the ring up top there. Day 2 of Destruction Loops 3. We got a letter from the nice folk up at Bidwick, and now Dr. Wiener brought some dowels. And we're now working on dowels.
With professional sandpaper.
Yeah, we're using professional sandpaper now, not the cheap consumer stuff we bought before. And let me tell you, just touching this is horrifying. Yeah, that's gonna be abrasive. It's gonna be so abrasive. 1550 to 55. We'll check how this sounds in a few hours. Sounds still pretty good after half an hour. Let's wait another hour. If anything, it sounds even better.
Yeah, it sounds less distorted now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I turned the EQ all to flat now
Yeah.
for more scientific research.
It's been another hour. So, how does it sound?
Number 8.
As you can see, it's getting caught at the splice point here, which happens a lot. Can't get it into focus, but you can see the splice point being destroyed. Still funny to see that 2 or 3 hours of tape destruction is literally nothing, especially when you're running at slow speeds. And by slow I mean 7.5 inches per second. That's slow. And you can see there's been some nice build-up right here. Quite a lot actually. And the tape looks pretty worn. You can see the scratches on the tape. But still the sound is pretty clear. Also because it was recorded very hot. So yeah. Next time we're going to install the Nagras and then it's almost time for the performance again. Now it's time to edit the regret submissions. Here we've got basically tiny stories, slices, windows into someone else's lives, and in the process I have to do each person justice. That doesn't mean I'll play everything through, it means I'll have to assemble the loops in a way that the story can be heard. The first submission is from someone you might know already.
Fine back, I have no regrets.
That's of course Look Mom No Computer, and he just recorded it on his phone and sent it to me. And he's not alone in that. Another person sent in non-regret. Simon is his name?
I don't really regret anything.
Yeah, the same notion. It's about non-regrets. I don't know if I can put these in because they speak about like the complete opposite. But they might provide contrast. So we'll see how that works out.
I regret not being able to put dirt on my father's grave, and I regret every time I got mad with my mother.
I regret drinking so much that it destroyed my liver.
Answer. Who's that? What do you want to say?
To say that we can do it all at the same time.
That's kind of cryptic. I have to read up what it is. This is from a field recording where I was out with my then about 6-year-old son. He begins to speak while I'm recording and I speak negatively to him in a really non-constructive way. I was young and not ready to be a parent, and I spoke like this to him too much. Every time I hear it, I feel deep regret. I've resisted the urge to delete it over the years because it feels like sweeping it under the rug. It reminds me of what I've learned and to be better.
I regret being late for my NPR performance and not getting to do it.
I do not regret my decision to reassign my gender. I do regret that it cost me my relationship of 23 years.
The things I regret the most are the things I haven't done.
I regret giving in to the money machine. Not focusing enough on the things I love. Instead, producing commercials that nobody wants for an industry nobody needs.
It's a world to pick from. Like, I could put this over different machines and then put it all back together. It's gonna be fun. When I say fun, I'm having fun in the artistic process. And yeah, not laughing at anything here.
Ich bereue, dass ich oft einfach aufgegeben habe, wenn ich was nicht gleich konnte.
I regret that when I came out as transgender, I didn't fight harder to have people treat me with the respect that I deserve, or to get the medical care that I needed. That for over a decade, I let people abuse me, mistreat me, to call me by my old name, and that I worried about myself being a burden to them instead of them treating me as they should have from the beginning.
I regret not asking my mother more about herself, and then I regret not saying goodbye when she died.
Hi, FX here. I had a friend in my youth. I'm not always treated well in certain ways. He died suddenly some months ago. I regret not to get in touch with him and sort this problem out for me and for him. Now he's dead and I cannot. Rest in peace, Eric.
This is gonna be tough to listen to this hundreds of times. I'm already getting teary-eyed. It's okay. Still waiting for some submission, but now it's also time to record mine. It's related to my parents, to my father to be exact. When I was 15, we were driving up a mountain in the Black Forest, and I was in the back seat, he was driving, and then a radio DJ came on, who was then famous, and he said, "Oh, that's one of my former students." And I said to him, "Oh, well, he has achieved something." And that felt so mean, because my father, he has achieved a lot. He was a very well-known scholar, and I still remember the silence that followed that. My mother was also in the car. Hi Mom, you're probably watching this. I still remember that silence, and I don't think I ever told my father. I never told him. Actually, I never told him that I regret saying that. And I showed him respect for his work and everything, but there was a thing like, there was not many things that were talked about. There was kind of a generation gap between us. So feelings and such were never really talked about. It was more about doing something and, yeah, showing by doing. But my regret is that I was mean to my father just to be mean. And never had the chance to, or never took the initiative, or never had the guts to say, "Hey, remember that thing I did 25 years ago? And I'm sorry for that." So I need to import it from that camera and get it in here, and then start the whole process. Alright, see you on the flip side.
I regret not asking my mom, so.
Alright, so let's press record here.
I did not love myself enough.
And on, go.
I did not love
Now I'm hurrying.
Yeah, okay, so let's record it now.
Okay.
However it is now. Okay, I gotta get in here. Alright?
I'm not always treated well in certain ways.
Everything is recorded, and it's a beautiful mess. And trying to pick out all the voices by themselves is a challenge, which is gonna be cool if you stand around longer. Yeah. This is time for knives now. That I was mean to my father.
To get in touch with him
I let
and
people
sort this problem out
abuse me,
for me and for him.
mistreat me.
I do not regret my decision to reassign my gender.
I regret not taking better care of my body.
Chemie, Bio, Kunst, alles einfach abgelehnt, statt dass ich mich darauf eingelassen hätte und versucht hätte.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour soi.
I do regret that it cost me my relationship of 23
Now he's dead
years.
and I cannot
Being late for my
To
NPR
call me by my
performance.
old name.
Ich bereue es, die
Instead
Ringe
of
zum
them treating me
abgenommen zu haben.
as they should have from the beginning.
I do not regret my decision to
I had a friend in my youth. I not always treated well in certain ways.
I regret
Every
that when
time
I
I
came
got
out as
mad with my
transgender,
mother.
I didn't fight harder to have people treat me with the respect that I deserve.
He died suddenly some months ago.
Being late for my NPR
And I
performance.
regret
Ich bereue, dass ich oft einfach aufgegeben
That I
habe,
was
wenn ich was nicht gleich
mean to
konnte.
my father just
To get in touch with him and sort this problem out for me and for him.
I let people abuse me, mistreat me.
my gender.
I regret not taking better care of my body.
dirt on my father's grave.
Physik, Chemie, Bio, Kunst, alles einfach abgelehnt.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour soi.
I do regret that it cost me my relationship of 23
Now he's
years.
dead and I cannot.
Being late for my NPR performance.
To call me by my old name.
Ich bereue es, die Ringe zum Händewaschen abgenommen zu haben.
And not
Instead
getting
of
to do it.
them treating me as they should have from the beginning.
I had a friend in my youth. I not always treated well in certain ways.
Every time I got mad with my
I
mother.
did not love myself.
I regret that when I came out as transgender, I didn't fight harder
He died suddenly
to have
some
people treat
months
me
ago.
with the respect that I deserve.
Being late for my
And I
NPR
regret
that I was mean to my
Ich
father
bereue,
just
dass ich oft
To
einfach
get in touch
aufgegeben
with
habe, wenn
him
ich was nicht gleich
and
konnte.
sort this problem out for me and for him.
I do not regret my decision to
I
reassign
let
I regret not taking better
abuse me,
care of my body.
mistreat me.
dirt on my father's grave.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour soi.
Einfach abgelehnt, statt dass ich mich darauf eingelassen hätte.
Now he's dead. Now he's dead and I cannot.
I let people abuse
I
me.
regret not taking better care of my body.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour
I
soi.
had a friend in my youth. I not always treated well in certain ways.
Every time I got mad with my mother.
Ich bereue es,
Call
die
me by
Ringe
my
zum
old name.
Händewaschen
I did
abgenommen
not
zu
love
haben.
myself.
He died suddenly some months ago.
Mistreat me.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour soi.
Now he's dead and I cannot.
Physik, Chemie, Bio, Kunst, alles einfach abgelehnt, statt dass ich mich darauf eingelassen
Being
hätte
late for my
und versucht
NPR
hätte, was
performance.
daraus zu machen. Ich bereue es, die Ringe zum Händewaschen abgenommen zu haben.
I had a friend in my youth. I not always treated well in certain ways.
I didn't fight harder to have people treat me with the respect that I deserve.
Not even sure he recognized me.
I regret not taking better care of my body.
Ich bereue, dass ich oft einfach aufgegeben habe, wenn ich was nicht gleich konnte.
Je n'aurais pas dû partir seul. Les belles choses ne sont pas à garder pour soi.
Get in touch with him and sort this problem out for me.
To call me by my old name.
I regret giving in to
Instead
the
of
money
them
machine.
treating me as they should have from the beginning.
And then I regret not saying goodbye when she died.
That I was mean to my father just to be mean.
Producing commercials that nobody wants.
I regret that when I came out as transgender,
I regret not taking better care of my
called me by
body.
my old name.
Not even sure he recognized me when I visited him in his old people's home.
Je
Instead
n'aurais
of
pas dû
them
partir seul.
treating me
Les belles choses ne
as
sont
they
pas à
should
garder
have
pour
from
soi.
the beginning.
I did not love myself.
Ich bereue es,
I
die Ringe
regret that when I
zum
came out as
Händewaschen abgenommen zu
transgender,
haben.
I didn't
Ich bereue es, die Ringe
call
zum
me by my
Händewaschen
old name.
abgenommen zu haben.
Instead of them treating me as they should have from the beginning.
The money machine.
And then I regret not saying goodbye when she died.
Producing commercials that nobody
To
wants.
call me by my old name.
Being late for my NPR performance.
Instead of them treating me as they should have from the beginning.
And not getting to do it.
That I was
Not even sure he
mean
recognized
to
me
my
when I
father
visited him
just
in his old
to be mean.
I regret that when I came out as transgender,
I had a
I
friend
didn't
in my
fight
youth.
harder
I
to have
not
people
always
treat me
treated
with the
well in
respect that
certain
I
ways.
regret not taking better care of my body.
Every time I got mad with my mother.
Ich bereue, dass ich oft einfach
Je n'aurais pas dû
aufgegeben
partir
habe,
seul.
wenn ich was
Les
nicht
belles
gleich
choses
konnte.
He
ne sont
died
pas à garder
suddenly
pour
some
soi.
months ago.
Asking my mother more about herself.
to call me by my old name. As they should have from the beginning. I regret that when I came out as transgender, I didn't fight harder to have people treat me with the respect that I deserve. Call me by my old name.
Beautiful. Darrin, how many hours has it been?
16, 18.
Let me check. Oh, it's midnight and we started at 4. So that's 8 hours.
Really? It's midnight?
It's midnight, yeah.
Wow.
And we had to employ fire to kill the regrets, because else we would have been here another 8 hours. Because tape is resilient and the loops are probably the longest that I personally have ever made. And especially in destruction loops. But the fire did some crazy beautiful sounds.
That's what we learned today.
Fire effects. Destruction Loops 3, the discovery of fire. We also managed to get some pretty nice amount of dust from all of this. And if you're the artist who asked to use this as their pigment to make colors with, drop me a line in the comments and then I'll send this to you. While during the performance I got lost in the performance itself. After editing this video, there's one thing that I'm personally taken away with, and that is talk. Because it might always be too late at some point to talk to someone. Thank you all for watching, and thanks to everybody who trusted me with their regrets. I hope this meant as much to you as it meant to me. Thanks to everybody who filmed, thanks to Patreon, and yeah, and thanks to the Patreons for supporting what I do. You're the reason I can do these videos. So, see you in the next one, and any comments in the questions. Oh, and put any questions in the comments. Bye bye.